Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome back to the show. It's Diaspora Black Women Show, and it's me, your host, Olufikemi Aidelo J. I'm so excited today. Today's bittersweet moment for me because we are ending the season 2 of Diaspora Black Women Show. It's also sweet because then I get to spend more time with my family. The weather is getting better outside, although we all know Canadian weather. It could be warm today and then snow tomorrow, but it's beginning to show promises of, getting warm. So I want to spend time with my family. But I promise you, season 3 will be coming and it's going to be bigger and better. So thank you so much. If you're already an OG on this show, you know how we do, you know how we roll. Go into the comment section, leave your name, leave where where you're watching us from. Are you in Canada? Are you outside of Canada? If you're in Canada, what city are you watching us from? Also leave it in the comment there, and that's how I can shout you out and mark attendance of this show. So you're wondering, who do I have here today? As usual, I always bring fantastic, fantastic guests, and I know too, you people, you always like to know who am I bringing, but you have to wait for 1 second. Welcome back. I know I just had to put that there so you guys can ponder, who do I have on the show. So I have the amazing, the fantastic, the beautiful, the one and only. Another one is a counterfeit. Dami Adeniyi. So she's the founder of DamiAdeniyi.com, and she's going to be telling us a lot more about DamiAdeniyi.com and her as herself. Like, who is she? What does she like? What's she about? And how has she been helping? Because she's one of the people that in the media that when you think about Africa, when you think about people in diaspora, her name comes to mind, right? That's where you get all the information. She spotlights a lot of people. She interviews a lot of people. And that's how I found out about her. So how are you doing, Dami?
Hi, guys. Hi, everyone. First of all, congratulations on a successful second season.
Thank
And,
you.
I'm excited for what is going to happen in season three. But you're ending on a bang, having me
Yeah,
on. So I'm excited to be here.
exactly. Yeah. Another host with the most.
So, yes, my name is Dami Adeniyi, Damilola Adeniyi, originally from Nigeria. I came to Canada for school in 2008. I went to college, I went to the U of S, and was in the financial sector for a bit, and then I started my platform. And the reason why I started my platform, damiadini.com, was because I saw that there wasn't any proper representation of Black people in the diaspora in general. Working in the financial sector, then a lot of people always ask me like silly questions, like, "Oh my God, your English is so good," or And initially, I used to get upset because it was kind of like the school that I went to, not like you can't even. But I realized that it was what they were constantly being shown in the media. So what the imagery of Africa was poverty stricken, fly on the face, child asking send money to Congo, kind of a thing. And while that is true, there are
Some of
also
that is true.
some of that is true. There also, it's just like even here too, like there's poverty here too, but you don't see that. Someone always says this, a friend of mine always says this, that North America has a very good PR. Like, so you don't see the poverty. There's a part of my city that you can't even go there. Is like, but you never see that. That's not the Canadian dream that is being sold to you. So I felt like there wasn't any proper representation of us as people in the diaspora because, see, it's not beans. It's not easy leaving your home country where you have maximum support, where everyone looks like you. You don't have to worry about racism. Come to a new country, build careers. You have, pretty much start from the beginning, do menial jobs, go to school, become lawyers, doctors. I mean, 70% of the medical field in Saskatchewan is immigrants. Those are the people that are holding the medical sector. So the problem was that there wasn't any proper representation of us as a people. And I thought, you know what? Let me be the town crier of our community. Let me be the one saying, because African people, you can be like, oh, humility, false humility, and all that. Let
Yeah.
me shout it out for you. Let me. So that was why I started my platform, to give visibility to us. I only share positive stories. So I know when people think of a blogger, um, that the first thing when I first started, people used to send me like, oh, somebody stole somebody's husband, and somebody. But I tell people, while there's more money in that, because we are nosy people in general.
Mhm.
But I tell people that it's different doing what we do here, because so in like Nigeria, it's everybody is not so
Gossip
much of a
blogs
big
and
deal.
things like that.
Is Yeah, it's not so much
Trend.
of a big deal. But here, if we present ourselves a certain way, then we're considered, like the
Yeah,
N
it
words
goes to
and
even further confirm what they already have in their hearts.
exactly.
Like,
So we
yeah,
don't have the
exactly. That's
luxury
what they are.
of displaying our, silliness. It's not like we don't have issues and problems, or we don't have the luxury of doing that. Already, mainstream media already does that for us,
Exactly.
with the 419, with the, so yeah.
That makes sense. And I like the way you said you want to be the town crier. The last time I heard that statement, like town crier, that it was like God knows where. So it's true, because the passion behind it and the reason why you started is different. It wasn't like, okay, let's just have fun and let's do, it's like, I want to make an impact. I want to change
Mm-hmm.
that media sense of, that frenzy that has gone up, that everybody in Africa, they are poor, they live on the trees, they use leaves to wrap their waist and all of that. So that's why you're deciding, okay, I'm only going for the positive one. And the truth is, not just that the media has changed the way people see Africans, it has also affected those of us that are in Africa, because the way they portray America, the way they portray the Western world, is like
Mm-hmm.
every single person is rich. You're
Mm-hmm.
walking on glass floors and all of that. So a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people too, even though they're very comfortable where they are back home, they want to go to this place that the media always talk about. They want to
Mm-hmm.
immigrate, which brings a lot of people here
Mm-hmm.
in the search of greener pastures. But then when they reach here, they see, really, my life was better. But then,
Mm-hmm.
because of the fear of, or the stigma of, yeah, now that you've gone, you're coming back home
Mm-hmm.
with nothing, people
Mm-hmm.
stick with the program. They stick here like, I must make it before I go back. So that's
Mm-hmm.
true. What you're doing is really amazing. So as a host that also, invite people to your platform to interview them, how do you go about, like, how do you think, well, this person, I want to interview this person on my platform, and then how do you go about reaching out, and have you gotten any like positive or negative response like that?
Oh, certainly. So, um, really, I just sort of look at people in the community. As much as possible, I try to, because I represent Africa, not just Nigeria. And even if I'm Nigerian, and it's easy for me, I obviously know more Nigerians because, they are my people. A lot of times I got accused of, okay, it's always Nigerian people. Then one time it was like, it's always women. So as much as possible, I still try, to make sure I cover ground. So that's one of the things that I look for. I look for, okay, if I've interviewed somebody from Calgary, um, that is Nigerian, maybe I should interview somebody from Regina that is Somalian, or, so that way it's sort of like a balance. Again, I'll end up still having more Nigerian people because I can, like, if I'm stranded, I can beg in Nigeria and say, please, I beg, that kind of thing, you know. But yeah, so that's one of the factors I consider. Two, usually is somebody that I've done a story on, or I've done a story on my blog or something, and so they see especially when I first started, and they see what I'm trying to do. Um, yes, I've gotten a couple of no's. Um, just because, like, obviously some people feel like you're not big enough to for them to be on your platform, and that's okay. I'm just like, don't worry, you come
You're gonna
back.
beg later.
Yeah, go to the register. I'm just joking, but there are people that are actually shy. Like I had somebody that she runs she does flipping. They flip houses, right?
Mhm.
And she just feels like she's not there yet enough to say. So I have people like that. I just feel like they are not accomplished well enough to to
I can understand that, but that's the thing. That's why we have all this platform to bring you up, because at the end of the day, you don't know if that platform that you've gone to will make other people come to you, right? Because if we don't celebrate those little wins, and that is why we've been stagnant for so long, because we're all waiting until we're billionaires and
the big,
millionaires.
yeah,
But if we don't
yeah.
celebrate those little wins now, and people begin to put our name out there for people to know that this, it will not grow up to become an household name. We will not grow up to have that generational wealth that other people have. So that's very important. So like, for example, on my platform, I bring people from like different backgrounds. So tomorrow I might bring somebody that is in the politics, that is in government. And tomorrow, the next day, I'll bring somebody that is a teacher, a kindergarten teacher. So I'm not showing you that every field that you're in, it is valid, and we have to celebrate it, because all those wins, if we don't celebrate it, we will not keep growing. And that's why a lot of these platforms are coming up, and people have to understand that. So what you say, I understand. For example, some people I reach out that they don't even respond, like
But
crickets. That's another one.
I think, one of the things that I've learned, I've been doing this, I said, since 2016. Like, I didn't start my podcast maybe until like early pandemic. But one thing I've learned is to give people grace, like, because you also have to be merciful to people, in the sense that, as African people, it's not an excuse, but I think that we don't have an email culture. We don't have, like, so we don't know how to respond to things, quickly. We don't know how to, like, when we think about emails, we think about, like, it has to be like a full scap, a full paragraph. So because of that, you're stuck in that process. Meanwhile, I was emailing one of my friends, and it was just, okay, thanks, simple,
Yeah,
I'm available. Like, so
it's
it
more like
doesn't
a
have to.
chat now.
Yeah, it's more like a chat now. And the thing about it, well, a black person's mentality is, okay, I have sent an email. Yours sincerely,
Yeah, the
good
formal
morning,
type
good.
of.
It has to be formal. And when you now think about the process of doing all of that, it feels like it's a lot of time. So I know that there's that. I also know that people don't check their email, because I also happen to work as a virtual assistant for an NGO, and trust me, it's one of the it's it's just a cultural thing that we've not gotten used to. So I've learned to have grace for people. Sometimes you have to be in people's faces to sort of get their attention.
So you have to, like, yeah, pretty much stalk people sometimes, like every platform. I'm
Yeah,
sending
yeah,
you messages on all your platforms so that you can see
yeah,
at least one of it. But
yeah.
yeah, that's one of the challenges, like getting people, or avoiding people canceling at the last minute where you can get a
Oh my
replacement.
God. Let me tell you a story. I like, okay, so people might know who, okay, I won't say the name. This was a celebrity, it's a big celebrity. And, before he blew up, I was supposed to interview him. Like, he was at the verge of blowing up. And, when I reached out, he was like, "Yeah, well, yeah, for sure, this. You have my whole day." By the time it was time for the interview, he had, like, now the blow up had happened, right? And um he now had management involved and all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff, and they're like, sorry, we can't give
yeah,
him more than 15 minutes, and that 15 minutes is because he had already promised. And this was someone that everybody was sort of looking forward to. So me, sef, I was like, so things like that happen. um Even the imposter syndrome of even reaching out to people, there are some people that I just feel like, based on experience, like, you
they
know
might not
they
respond.
might not they might not respond. Why stress myself? And also micromanaging. That's one of the reasons why my podcast has not come back, because it's so stressful. Like, you have to keep saying,
Yeah,
you have to
because
go,
people
because
don't
I've
know
had people
all the
not
work
show up.
you have to put into it, right?
Hmm.
For some people, like I remember in my season one, I was so daring. Like I started because I'm this kind of person that I might, if I ponder on something for too long, I would always get a reason why not to do it.
Mm,
So I sometimes I act on impulse.
mm,
Even when I started season two, it was on impulse. I just thought about it, like, you know what?
mm,
It's getting too long. I'm gonna start. And I'm gonna
mm,
start next Saturday. And I reached out to someone. I said, would you be my first guest? Because I didn't have enough time to start looking for other people
Mhm.
and book, talk to the
Mhm.
management and all of that. And she was magnanimous enough to say, okay. So I
Mhm.
created the flyer that night, and that was how it started. The same thing with season one too. I was like, it's I've been pushing that. I kept thinking I don't have enough followers. Maybe I will not have views. Maybe, all those
Mhm.
maybe, and that imposter syndrome that you talked about. That how would I fare because I don't have any background in podcasting or
Mhm.
talking public speaking and things like that. So I was
Mhm.
just so freaked out. But one day I just said, you know what? I'm starting. The first one would be International Women's Day last year. So my show has been a year now since March. So I reached out to the first person and I was hoping to God that she doesn't turn me down. Because if she
Mhm.
had did that, I would maybe this show wouldn't have existed. Because it was like me treading on, let me just try. When
Oh,
she
faith.
said no, I said, you see, maybe I should just wait. So sometimes as well, we have to psych ourselves up. Sometimes we have to take those chances. I say, you know what, I'm gonna
Mhm.
do it and let's see how it proceeds, right? If it doesn't
Mhm.
go well, fine. Now you've learned something new, right? If it goes
Mhm.
well too, continue to feed the energy, continue to feed it. So that's what I did for the first one. And when I felt overwhelmed, because also I have so many things that I had to, juggle family, work, and all of that. So I said, you know what? I think I need to take a break, which I did. And but then the challenge now was getting back because I had so much fun because I had my Saturdays back. So I kept
Mhm.
saying, maybe next week, maybe next week. So
Mhm.
another 2, 3 months, I was off.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's the thing. We have to just keep encouraging ourselves because one thing that made me come back for season two, and which will also make me come for season three, is because these videos, sometimes I go back by myself and I watch it. Because right now, as I'm talking to you, I'm
Mhm.
also the creative director behind the scene. I'm
Yeah,
also the
the
one putting the
technician. Yeah, the
everything. So there are
audio
some things
guy.
that are important that I myself said that I'm saying it outside my skin. I don't know if you understand. So I'm saying
Mhm.
things, but I'm not really sure that I'm saying until I go back and watch it. Ooh, oh, you said all of
Mhm.
that. And there's
Mhm.
some things that my guests will say as well that I might have missed because I'm trying to respond to people's messages. So when I
Mhm.
go back and I watch these videos, I feel like I gain a lot of things like wow, wow, wow. And then I apply it to my situation. And I
Mhm.
realize that I can do this too. So I don't have to be afraid to say,
Uh-oh.
I don't know. Oh, okay. Yeah,
Okay.
the
Yeah, we're
internet,
back.
I
Yeah.
think something
Mhm.
happened to the internet shortly. So I see that results in me applying these things and I see my confidence gradually growing.
Mhm.
Before, I would be freaking out before every single show. Have I gotten the questions? Have I, things like that. But I found out after the first 3 or 4 sessions in season two, I decided, you know what, I'm not writing questions again. I would sit down, I would talk heart to heart, and I'll go with whatever you say because I found that was another stress on itself, like having to put together questions. And then coming on the show sometimes, I don't want it to be rehearsed or something.
Mhm.
So I decided, you know what? I just go with the flow. And I found that I was able to do more because this time around I have 20 episodes because I was not freaking about what am I going to ask this person.
Mhm.
Let's just chat. It's not a
Mhm.
formal platform.
Mhm.
It's something that is supposed to encourage other people so that they can see that you can also do the same, right? So that's really important. So now let's talk about empowering. So last month was Women Empowering Women Month, Women History Month, and all of that. And I had seen on your platform that you're going to be the host, I think it's CBC for
Mhm.
the Potters. And I saw you talking about women empowering women. Can you give us a sneak peek into that, if you may?
You know what? Okay, so I had an opportunity to host the CBC Portal event. First of all, it was unexpected. It was truly God, like God in His manifestation, because um, as I said, I'd been away. So I don't think I mentioned it on the show, but I'd been away for a year. I sort of had like would I call it a mental breakdown? I was exhausted. I'd worked myself so much that like to the point of I couldn't do anything. So I literally took a year off. And so I came back in the beginning of March. And so right now I'm still in the process of just catching up and all that. So this wasn't something that I saw coming. And, you know, a few weeks ago, in fact, I was in Saskatoon, doing something. And I got an email from CBC saying that they had been trying to reach me. they need someone to host the show. But I follow even thought that Kenny. But I looked at the name because like I'm part of a podcasting community of in Saskatchewan, and I'm one of like the few black voices. So I'm one of the people that they always remember, So initially I was just like, no, this can't be reporters. Like this is like an entertainment show. And they were like, oh, Omira recommended me, and they remembered that they had my content and whatnot. Um, and so it was just interesting because um, I'd interviewed Omira on my platform. She's like one of the biggest CBC reporters. She's a senior reporter in CBC. I'd interviewed her on my podcast, but that was it. Like, you know, we know of each other once in a while. We, hey, hi, what's up? The whole get like, but nothing. I think I would have even understood more if the person was my friend that was plugging me. Like she had no reason to.
Yeah.
And for the fact that she put in my name, and throughout the whole process, she excluded herself from it, so that it wasn't like she was. I think she was being intentional that she didn't want to. And it just made me realize that a lot of time as women, especially, we always get women don't support women. Women are our enemies. Women are and personally, I've not had that experience. Maybe I'm lucky. And I feel that when, people do things like that, we should celebrate them. We should make it public, because we're the same people that, oh, if a woman locks the door, somebody does something, we'll be making noise about it. But we should celebrate those things. And it also inspired me because the fact that she could rise up to that level and then open the door for me, right,
Mhm.
to come through that door. I like there's no way I won't do the same, you know, because again we need representation. And personally, I'm very, big on God. I think that God wants us to be in strategic places. We have to be in decision making places, we have to be in politics. We have to be where the economy, the economics of our provinces and our cities and the country. We have to be in media. We have to be like in those places where decision making. See Indians, for example. Do you get what I mean? So
Yeah.
um, for me, it was just it spoke so much to like what that would do, because she might not even realize, or maybe she does. She might not realize that opening that door for me and now inspiring me to open that door for the people coming behind me, what's that ripple effect? She might not even ever see the effect, but she's done something, huge and great. So yeah, so that's why I felt the need to shout her out. I didn't want it to be like just the, thank you in the
In an
secret.
email.
I wanted to, yeah, I wanted to
But
make
that
sure that.
was good because that's opening doors for people. That's what it's all about. Because before now, as I said, a lot of people that have reached a certain height have refused to help other people. That's because they have this mindset that why do you want to, skip the process? Why don't you
Mhm,
start from the beginning and build the blocks, right? So they refuse to tell you what the secret is. Because when you go to them, like, yeah, just stick with the process. But now we have realized that we don't have the time to stick to the process, right?
let
We
me tell
have to
you.
help one another to, bypass. Like for example, if I spend 3 years to get something, and if somebody else is coming, why do I want them to still go through that 3 years when I can help them skip the 2 years? Because if you see our counterpart, other races, they've gone so way higher. So we
Mhm,
cannot keep going through that same slow pace. We have to make sure that we bring as many as people as we can, because it is lonely at the top if you are just there
mhm,
by yourself. So that's
mhm,
really important that we bring people along. We pay it forward. I don't believe in payback. I believe in
mhm,
paying it forward. So just like you're saying now, somebody did something for you, you want to do the same in return. So
mhm,
that's the
mhm.
mindset that I want other people to have. You were about to say
Yeah,
something.
sorry. I was going to that. We actually, I feel like this is a huge problem in our community because it's not even just about making someone go through the process. We have this thing that we have to learn of, oh, I'm the only black person in this field. I'm the only black person in my office.
That's
But
sad.
that is very, very problematic. And the way I think about it is, see, the when the voice of a community is in the economic power of the community, right? If, for example, I'm a media guru, you're a media guru stroke lawyer. We know a lawyer, we know Niger foodie, we know this, we know that. Like, it just speaks so well of our community. And then for our children coming, I can easily say, well, you're going to Toronto, there's a Fikemi that you can see, she can help you. We have to start thinking about the future. Let me tell you what the Filipinos are doing here. They are buying houses in specific wards, right? So what they do is they help one of them. They help them. I know this because I worked on the bank and I handled some of their files. They would help one person raise down payment for a house, right? Once they're done with that, they will help the next person. So they are buying in wards. Now, when it's time to vote for councillor in the ward, who is most likely going to be? So we have to start thinking, if we truly want representation, we have to start making steps. And again, it's easy if you have a media person that you're running for office. It's easy for those people to push. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's something that we have to unlearn, that thinking of, oh, you don't want to tell people the secret of your success. The secret, the way I see it, the more successful people I know, the more successful I am, because I don't think of wealth as money. I think of wealth as my network. The fact
Exactly,
that I
because
can
your
pick up the phone,
network is your net worth.
you know. So the fact that I know, okay, there's this person, like, we need to, that's
And
thinking, we need to get rid of it.
if we relate it back to when we were in Nigeria, a lot of us got, because our parents used to network back in
Mm,
Nigeria, and they
mm,
might have done something for someone that you as a child will come back and
be,
reap that fruit. Because I know that from like my dad or my mom, no, it doesn't matter where I go to. If let's say I went to school somewhere in the north, I would find somebody that would see my last name and say, "Oh,
mhm,
are you related to so, 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 and so?" And I say, "Yes."
mhm,
And then my problem would just be solved just like that. So
mhm.
I don't know why we're not taking that part to say, you know what, I want to network. And back in the day, these people didn't have telephones, they didn't have,
Social network, social
yeah.
media.
So it was like, whatever impact you're able to make when you meet somebody, that impact stays with them for life. And then when their
Mhm,
children come back, they they reap the fruit of that. So that's what we should do too.
mhm,
Anywhere you find yourself, begin to plant those seeds so that later on, when our children are in those strategic places,
mhm,
somebody will say, "Oh, are you the daughter of Dami Adeniyi? Because I know one Dami Adeniyi from
mhm,
2012 or 2000 and something." And say,
mhm,
"Oh, yeah." And you get it. Because that's how, even with white people, they do that a lot.
mhm,
Do you want to tell me that the daughter or the son of some politician will go somewhere and they will not trace it back to, "Oh yeah, are you the daughter of Doug Ford?" And then they get
mhm,
you the job. So we
mhm,
have to place ourselves in those strategic places so that it will continue. The ripple effect will continue. We'll keep bringing people, because if you're there alone, once they fire you or you die or something happens, that's it. The door is
mhm.
closed.
And there's
But
power in
if
numbers too.
Exactly. So when you start placing people in those strategic positions, then that's how the network will begin to grow, and
Mhm,
more people will begin to see those opportunities. So
mhm.
that mindset of, "Oh yeah, I don't want people," or, "Oh, I don't want to tell like Nigerians." Once you tell them they want to go and do this, let them go and do the
Mhm.
same thing.
Like, we
If
can
you
all
if you
thrive.
show off yourself
Mhm.
and what you bring to the table, especially to very important that, right?
Sorry, I lost you a bit. You're frozen.
So it's really important. Dami, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but you're frozen. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay. I think the internet is freezing.
Okay, that's okay. But I can still hear
uh,
you. So, excuse me.
for some reason, I can't hear you anymore. I don't know if it's my internet.
Can can you hear me
probably
now?
my internet. Can you hear me? Me?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Okay, so we're just gonna wait for Dami to join us. I think it's a little bit of a technical difficulty, but yeah. So I don't know if you guys can see from that point of view that we all have to help one another out, no matter what, like no matter what situation. It doesn't mean you should just help all Tom, Dick, and Harry, but think about it. Why do I want to be in this position by myself, right? Why do I want to be in this position by myself? What can I do to bring more people? Because the community is very important. I'm trying to see if Dami is able to join us again. Because community is important. If you have a community of people around you, then people will not just walk all over you because they know you have a community, right? Okay, let me see. Oh, yeah, I'm able to get you back now. Yeah, we have
Hello,
you
can
back
you hear
now.
me?
I think it's the internet. Hmm. So, can you hear me, Dami? Okay, while we wait for the internet to reboot, I think I don't know if it's the internet or if it's the StreamYard having a problem. But yeah, so it's always important that you had people. Oh, okay, it's my internet.
Can you hear me?
Can you, can you hear me now? Yeah, it's probably my internet. But I'm changing. If you can hear me, can you go out and come back in? Let me see if I can get you in because we're almost approaching the end of the show. So for some reason the internet decided to not to be nice today. Okay. Yeah, I think you're back. Give me a second. Is it any better? No.
Hello?
Okay. I believe. Okay. I think this might actually be from StreamYard because the internet on my end looks fine. But I don't know what exactly is going on with it. Mm. For some reason, I don't know what's going on, but yeah. Okay, you can hear me. Okay, so I guess it's Dami's internet because yeah, it's really dragging. So let's see if we can add it back on and see if it goes better this time.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. So apparently people can hear me. Somebody says they can hear me.
So I
I
just
don't know if
I
it's your
just
internet or
listened
your
to
end,
um
but it's really messed.
I tried to listen to it live. Yeah. Hi guys. Okay, hi guys. We'll just wait for Fikabi to come. I think there's a problem with the internet because I can actually hear myself on the live broadcast. But yeah, so hi everyone. Sorry for all this. This is beyond our control.
Yeah, I think it's StreamYard itself having problems. Can you hear me? StreamYard itself
Oh, I can't
is
hear
having
you.
problems. So I think it's from their end. But if you can hear me, I believe we might just have to end it. This is a sad way to end. This is a sad way to end, but I guess we can just but it was a pleasure having you on here. Oh, you can hear us both? For some reason, I don't know why we can hear one another. Let me remove Dami and put her back on.
Hello?
Uh, Someone says they
Mm.
can hear us both, but yeah.
So yeah, like on the live
Wow,
broadcast because I was
that's my
listening
first
to
time
it.
having this kind of issues, but I believe it might be from the platform itself, from the StreamYard platform itself, not exactly from the internet, because I've switched between the phone internet and the home internet, and still it's not working. But I'm just gonna believe what the audience is saying, that they can hear us both. But I believe I will try to see if she can join one more time. But if she cannot join one more time, then I guess that's the end of it for this season. And thank you so much for everybody that has been, attended every Saturday. I do not take it for granted at all. I do not take it for granted. It's been a fantastic, second season, and I brought pretty cool guests as well. I brought a lot of cool guests, and in season three, I don't have I don't have a plan yet, but I know that something is cooking up in my brain and it's going to be fantastic. And I will appreciate as many people as are able to join. I don't have a date yet as to when the season three will begin, but I know that I want to go bask in the sun, enjoy, the outdoors a little bit. And I might be doing one or two vlogs in the midst of it all. But this is, as I said from the beginning, this was bittersweet for me because, first of all, bitter because yeah, we're ending the season, and sweet at the same time because I get to spend more time with family, with friends, and enjoy the weather coming up. So this has been fantastic session, and hopefully I'm just going to wait maybe one more minute if I'm able to get Dami back on. But if I'm not able to, it was a pleasure having her on here. If you don't know her, you can go in the bio, in the description. You will see her bio in there. She's also a podcaster. She's a host. She's a social media manager, and she does a whole lot of good stuff that you might want to connect. Am I able to connect to you now? Yeah, I think so. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Hey.
That
I
was
am so
so.
sorry. I'm so sorry, guys.
I,
I don't
I
know what
I don't know. I
happened.
think maybe it's from StreamYard itself, from the platform that I'm
Yeah, I
using to
think it's from
stream.
StreamYard.
Yeah, because it says something about something went wrong. If you try again, it might be from our end. Like it showed something like that. So it wasn't the internet because I
Uh,
switched between the three internet I have, and none of it was working. So I was just giving my goodbye that, okay, if I can't get back.
Please,
Oh my
oh, me,
God, that was,
I'm enjoying our conversation, so it was paining me. I was like,
yeah,
no,
I was like,
we're
how
not
can we
going
just
out
leave in
like
the
this.
middle like that? Yeah, they said finally. Oh my God, that was that. Yeah, that was a breaking transmission. Sorry, everybody. And we're back, and we're just gonna move it a little bit more, then run away before it happens again. So yeah, what were we talking about before the breaking
I've,
transmission?
I've, I've absolutely forgotten. So we're talking about support as a community, but you were rounding
Supporting
up on
one
that.
another.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So in that, how did it make you feel? Because remember, we were talking about, you showing up every time to do your show, even though you had so many other things to do. Did you feel like your hard work paid off? Because one of your guests thought about you, even though you've been off the show for a while, thought about you and opened doors for you, and not like you're a friend. So, did you think, or how did it make it feel as a host?
I don't even think that was the reason why she had open she recommended because she was a guest on my show. As I said, even before that, once in a while she used to reach out to me and tell me not to stop doing what I'm doing as an independent, that she
Yeah.
wishes she had the courage, so I think it was just even that she saw the vision. Not many people do. um Especially when I first started, a lot of people just felt like, oh, it's a hobby. And when you're trying to even monetize, because microphone is expensive, you have to buy equipment, I pay for internet, and I do this full time. um so I think she saw like the future of it, and she saw the vision in it, and she was able to buy into it. So it made me feel good, and it was because I got to the point where I was like, oh, like if nothing big happens by a certain period of time, we're packing up shop. While
Yeah.
this is passion,
Yeah,
bills have to be
sometimes too,
paid.
money drives the passion, because people always say
Money.
things like, oh, if you're passionate. The truth is, if you're passionate, sometimes these things can kill passion because you're putting your resources into something, and it can be
Mm-hmm,
very discouraging at some point, right? And that's
mm-hmm,
why some people, when they saw that my YouTube was monetized, and they thought that I'm beginning to get, dollar signs and all of that. And I'm saying, you know what, monetization, I haven't gotten a dollar into my account from my YouTube, right? The thing is, if we put all of this content out and you don't go watch it,
mm-hmm,
there's no way the money's gonna come. So getting that monetization is a different ballgame. You actually watch it because the
mm-hmm,
money will come from the views, from people actually interacting with the content. And if you continue not to
mm-hmm,
watch it, or you just watch
mm-hmm,
1 minute and you be like, okay, then it's gonna keep affecting the program, because now the algorithm will see that you came in for 1 minute and left. Another person came in for 1 minute and left.
mm-hmm,
Then probably there's nothing so
mm-hmm,
interesting in there, and then it wouldn't promote that video. So I always tell people, if you
mm-hmm,
know you don't want to, don't even bother, because you're doing more harm than good going in for 30
mm-hmm,
seconds. Because some people have this notion that, oh, they need to watch it for 30 seconds for you to get the money. No, if you keep doing
mm-hmm,
that, you're more harming the
mm-hmm,
content. And the truth is,
mm-hmm,
no YouTube whatever in their company sitting down to watch your content to see if it's good or not. They go by the
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
algorithm, right?
You're,
So the algorithm will say, oh, this thing, there's nothing important. Or if people are coming and no thumbs up, no comment, nothing like that, also it shows that whatever you're putting out there is boring. So
mm-hmm,
it really also depends on people's support sometimes, like actually
mm-hmm.
supporting. So sometimes it gets tiring, especially when you think
It
about
gets
it.
there.
I have this much time to create content, which I'm getting $0 for, and I have this much time to go work on my own thing that would give me dollar
Mm-hmm,
per hour. It's very easy
mm-hmm,
to change your mind and say, you know what,
mm-hmm.
I'm gonna
Or
go
even
that other
sleep,
way.
safe. Just
I be
even sleep.
sleep is
Just sleep.
productive.
It's productive. But I was going to say this because, like, in the 1 year that I took off, it was to seek God, because this vision God gave it to me was
Mhm.
to seek God's face and say, God, if this thing doesn't, like, I need to really know what I'm doing with my life and all that. And one of the things that came to me is that, it's, and this might be for anyone out there that is possibly thinking about getting into this space or doing anything in general, is that it's the year of the shameless. So I'll explain what I mean by that. if you've noticed on my social media, my content is I'm being experimental with my content, right? Funny thing is I've always had these ideas, but I just was like, oh, I'll look too silly, I'll look too stupid, I'll look it, I'll look a certain kind of way, But at the end of the day, it's what's working. It's how people are engaging. In the sense that
Exactly.
our generation has a very short attention span. So now, if you
Catching
look at my post,
that attention with what they
so I'm
would
running
respond to.
commentary in one second I'm sorry, I said 1 second, 1 minute, like in reels, right? Giving people like a breakdown of okay, this is what's on the news in 1 minute. And I'm saying that people are responding more to that. So again, is that don't be yourself, don't be afraid to explore. You work, work, we move. You know what works, you know what doesn't work. I think that for a long time that has been a limiting factor for especially for us as creators because like there's aesthetics, there's this, there's that you have to do to sort of but one of the things that I've learned so far, I mean it's just 1 month since I'm coming back, is that is shape anything as it comes as an idea. I don't, because like you said, we're very similar in the sense that I can talk myself out of an idea. Because I'm like, oh my god, do I have to do this? Oh, like repetition. And now I just go off of it. And I find that once I do that, it works. So trust your instinct.
Yeah, that's true because a lot of times all I do on my program is just on my IG is just put the flyer for my program and then maybe snippet of whatever from there. But now I found that sometimes, especially with this reels, they're making it easier. Because before, when I think about making reels, because people say, why don't you make reels and stuff? It's like a whole lot of. So what I do sometimes, I think since the last month, I've just been doing some kind of comedy where
Mm,
I would just be watching the reels. I like it, and I just use the voice over, right? And it would just take me like 2 minutes, and I'll continue with my work. And then maybe
mm-hmm.
when my sister or somebody sees it, be like, "Where do you get the time to do that?" I'm like, I'm working. You know, I just saw the reel, and I just quickly memorize whatever they said, and it's usually like 30 seconds, 15 seconds, and I
mm,
said, and
mm,
I'll just use the filter and stuff, and that's it. And I find that people sometimes before the end of the day, I'll say 2,000 views. I'm like, really? So that
yeah.
one where I was unserious, I was not impacting any knowledge. It took you like I got 2,000 views, but when I'm actually impacting knowledge, probably 10 views. But what I'm now using that as a strategy is people can see that there's other fun side to you. You're not always serious all the time, and sometimes people will subscribe due to just that
Mm,
video, and then now they want to see what are the things that you have. So sometimes you can't be rigid in your ways because you have to
yeah.
go with the flow, because a lot of people are actually nowadays are millennials, that they've gone to work, they've gone to school, they are bored from their
Mm-hmm,
teachers, so they don't want to come
mm-hmm,
back and then listen to you go on
mm-hmm,
and on and on about personal development. They want to have
mm-hmm,
something fun. So when you put those ones in it, sometimes it also helps to bring them in and then
mm-hmm,
see your content. So once in a while, I just do those funny things that I use filters and stuff. So yeah, I can see where you're coming from. So don't be rigid in your mindset, even though you have what you want to do. But sometimes to look at your audience, look at the kind of things. And now that we have insights and stuff, you can look at your audience. What are their age range?
mm-hmm,
What are the things that you feel that I speak to them in their language? That's really
mm-hmm,
important as well. But yeah,
mm-hmm.
that's true. So before this internet now or whatever it is that come back again to come and rob us of our time, I'll just say, what are the like one or two things that you want to share that I've not asked you today that you feel like other people can learn from your journey?
What would I like to share? Um, do what you love. Like as I said, earlier, of like I see that I spoke about being shameless because in my mind, the mindset I've always had with media was I wanted to be like um the opera of Canada, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, serious, the conversation. And that's not really my personality, even if I she's a role model, she's someone I look up to. Another role model that I have is Mariah Afolabi Brown. Um, you know, even if so, initially when I started, I was trying to be that um sort of fit into that stereotypical host or stereotypical media personality role, and that wasn't really me. So I'll say this, that in anything that you're doing, be yourself 100%, because I'm saying that in this 1 month that I've come back, I'm thriving more. Second of all, if you're passionate about something, don't give up on it. Um, I strongly believe I- in following your dreams and all that. I probably would have done it differently. I was a bit too aggressive. I should have, like, thinking back. But when I look at the network of people that I have, when I look at how, when people just come and just say thank you because I shared scholarship opportunities, that because another problem with our community is that we don't know where to get information from, you know. There's just this fulfillment that I have because we're also helping the next generation without even knowing it. Always, let's start thinking about ways of bringing people up in our community, because if 80% of Africans in Canada are doing extremely well, then
Yeah.
that community is thriving, you know, is to say, and even creates more job opportunities. It creates like the future of our children. We don't have to be, I mean, I know this person somewhere that can help, or, oh, my child wants to go into medicine and they need guidance and whatnot. So, um, yeah, I don't know if there's anything else I'm missing. Um, but yeah, that's it. Let's celebrate one
That's actually
another.
true, because when you talked about, when you started your you wanted to be the opera, and all those prim and proper, that's one of the things too that I found that worked for me when I started, is being myself. Because
Mhm,
if I had been the type that I have to do a full face makeup and put this weave and all of that, which I know it's not me, I wouldn't be able to
mhm,
try, because it will be like a chore every time. Most of the time, I just quickly put Vaseline, put my glasses, and I'm rushing back here. So, and the funny part is, what I've heard from people is because the way I look, it's kind of like everybody already knows what to expect. So if I come tomorrow now
mhm,
and then all of a sudden I'm all dolled up, people will be like, what's
mhm,
going on? Is it that you already won
mhm,
$1 million? But I find that being in that comfortable position where I could come and be myself and I don't have to, do any extra, it helped me.
mhm,
If otherwise,
mhm,
you can't keep, putting up a show for so long if you're not yourself,
mhm,
because at some point that personality wants to come out, but now people already know you as a particular way. So if you now change, you might end
mhm,
up losing all those audience that you have, worked so long to be able to get. So yeah, it's really that's really important. Being yourself, doing what you're comfortable doing, how you like to appear to other people, or how you want people to
mhm,
see you.
mhm,
Also, it's always important that you put that
mhm.
out there. So yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense. But yeah, this has been a fun conversation, and I appreciate you coming on the show, even though the devil wanted to scatter it. It was.
And they are starting again because it has been glitching.
I know it's been glitching. So I'm like, let me wrap it up before everything just go to yam pepe scatter scatter. So yeah, thank you so much,
Fabio.
Dami. I really appreciate you coming on the show, and you being my final guest on the season. That's also amazing. It's a cherry on top of the whipped cream. Thank you so much, and I hope that you have better luck in everything that you lay your hands on, because I'm sure
Amen.
that you
Amen.
have so many ideas already. You just don't want to tell
A-
us yet.
a-
But I pray for
a-
God's blessings on every idea, and that,
Amen.
yeah, when
Amen.
everything goes big, you're going to be giving me a VIP ticket to come to
Ah,
one of your
for
shows.
sure. For sure. You
And
know
the
what? And
truth
I want to
is,
say thank you.
this is recorded, so people would actually hear me talking about the VIP ticket for future
Hey,
purposes.
don't worry. Small thing. Is that all? Is that all? You don't want a trip.
Everything you
Anyways.
say is recorded. I'm taking it.
No, I want to say thank you and also celebrate you. You're doing an awesome job.
Thank you so
Um,
much.
I mean, you're inspiring in every sense of the word, and we need more people. We need to tell our stories. We need to celebrate each other more. So thank you for what you do. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm going to come back again. Let me tell you why I'm going to come back, because this one did not really this one StreamYard,
Yeah.
sort of mess things up. So
Yeah.
you have to invite me again,
Season 3
right?
for sure.
Season 3 for sure. I'm waiting for the invite. And this time, you know, it will be cha cha cha, no error,
Yes.
nothing, nothing.
Everything on point.
Everything on point.
Yes, thank you so much. And for everybody watching us, thank you so much for giving us your time. And remember to share this out, so you can share the link out to people and they can watch the replay. As I said, this is recorded and is always on my platform. So thank you so much. I'm going to give you back the rest of your Saturday. Have a fantastic, fantastic weekend.